that it is white men on this side of the aisle telling us, people of color on this side of the aisle, that y'all are the ones being oppressed.
Shut up.
This is disgusting. The president made a spectacle.
Hold on, just let that sink in.
Extremely disrespectful, and that should have never happened.
13-year-old boy get honored to be a Secret Service agent.
Crazy how you'll see the left, how they go crazy with the right.
This simply will not do, and this is not okay. Why?
They cry a lot.
Voted in ways that are against you. It's completely fine to not be around those people and to tell them why.
Yeah, I think that was getting out of hand, especially during the holidays when people were saying, well, there was families that were like, and friends that were like on the left and somewhere on the right, and they didn't want to communicate with each other or actually be around each other on holidays.
If they don't moderate and monitor the content, we lose total control.
And for one, stop telling people that to not talk to you because they voted differently.
You should accept who you are, love who you are.
And you'll be happier if you do.
And just come out and go with it.
And he's going to be dictators. Like, quit blowing everything out of proportion. Like, all I see from them, I see it personally too. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Is because of that. I think that's insane. That's crazy. Why would you even think of something like that?
Without any level of oversight or regulation. And that has to stop.
It happened. Trump won.
Well, it's happening. The family wants to know what I'm doing for the holidays. I'm going to be here with my dogs and my daughter, who is of childbearing age and now has to get an IUD at 17 years old. And I'm going to be here with my son, who is a political target. And that should really tell you all you need to know about why I'm not going to be hanging out with y'all for the holidays. So off, choke on your turkey. Bye.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome to the Pilot Seat. I'm Jeremiah.
I'm Melissa.
And today we're going to be talking about the demos. First of all, thank you for coming back and tuning in.
Right. Thank you.
We much appreciated it. Anyway, so today, we've been talking about some other topics lately. And today, I know when we first started this, we first kind of like politics kind of inspired us to get this going. And we haven't really done a political episode yet. So we're going to talk about everything that's been kind of going on in like a nutshell currently, you know what I mean? So like recently, what I've been noticing is there is a huge like division within this country right now.
Well, division as in political parties,
like
politics?
People hating people like ending relationships with their family and friends over just because of who they like politically.
That's so ridiculous. That's ridiculous. I don't understand why. It's just at the end of the day, it's politics.
Yeah,
people should just learn to accept what other people want to believe in.
Yeah, it's like certain time, certain like people always vote for what is going to personally affect them, right?
Right.
Person A may have something that might personally affect them, but person B, that may not be the same thing for them. You know what I mean? And it's kind of sad that is everything that I'm seeing is kind of. Sorry, everybody. The cat peeps down here. The cat sniffing the mic stand. That's why it's moving. And he's probably gonna jump up here. No.
But it really is what you're saying. I mean, I think everybody notices that. Like, it's crazy what's been going on in the world and in politics, the left, the right. It is insane.
Yeah, and
and
it's like
it's crazy.
The crazy part was like when this whole political thing kicked off was I used to like stay up on politics, but for the longest time, for years, I didn't. And then came into this whole fresh-minded, open-minded, and I've seen a lot of things that kind of make me, wonder where our country was headed. You know what I mean?
Right. I think the last, it was, to me, I know it was mostly when Biden was in term. I kind of strayed away from politics during that time. So honestly, it's kind of going back now and kind of looking at all the policies whatever he had from that administration. And then it just kind of triggered from there. And then watching the debate, which we actually did on election day, which is actually one of our first podcasts that we ever had done.
Yeah, and that we was actually did it on election day.
On election day. And that was crazy. It was just insane. And I can't believe how different things have become, or maybe because I just wasn't paying attention.
Right.
for the last few years. And I guess this is what it really is. But in some ways, I think it's a lot different than it's ever been. And I think people understand that. Like, it's crazy how you'll see the left, how they go crazy with the right. You've also seen a lot of people, and I know because speaking for myself, I honestly was never a registered Democratic, but I was always leaning more towards the left Democratic.
Yeah.
And the last 4 years, I didn't really think about politics much. It just didn't really cross my mind. I was just kind of going on with the flow in life. And I think, probably for yourself as well.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden this starts happening and I'm like, no, I got to be a part of this. Like, this is something different. This is crazy. This is weird.
Something I've never witnessed before in my life.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Okay, so what I've been noticing, sorry everybody, Peeps is wanting affection for some reason all of a sudden.
It's okay.
Anywho, from what I've noticed, I didn't know anything politically of Trump's stance politically or Biden's really, and then we saw that debate, boom, boom, boom. Long story short, is I was not up to date on anything, what was going on, and I realized that's not good, right?
Yeah.
And then he gets taken out, and then Harris gets put in, and I didn't even know who Harris was. So I was like, okay, open-minded, I don't know, whatever. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I went right because none of the policies
made any sense
to me, or none of the policies either would help move the country forward. I didn't see at all.
Right. I didn't see anything they were going to do to change the world other than, their little bubble they stick in with, the same agenda they have is always, we know, I think we know what it is. It's race, transgenders, and all these things that they're just kind of focusing on more than they are focusing on the world, itself and policies, and what's going to really benefit people in the long run, besides those things.
It's what do they expect? You were solely focused on a specific group of people that's less than 1% of the population, and all policy they were coming up with dealt with that, right? And then they get so angry, and then when I started realizing they missed. To twist words around, that one day Trump was on day one I'll be a dictator when it comes to deportation. That's what he said when it comes to deportation. Right. And then they're trying to make that an argument of oh my God, Trump's going to be. He said he's going to be dictator. It's quit blowing everything out of proportion. All I see from them, I see it personally too. Yeah. You know what I mean? They cry a lot.
Okay, this is not okay. This simply will not do, and this is not okay, and I'm not good with this.
Can't be real.
This is sick.
Can't be real.
I'm sorry. No! Why?
This is all prank, right? We're just gonna wake up tomorrow morning and everything's gonna go back to the way it'll be a psych. It'll be a really bad dream, and none of this will ever happen.
Everybody, they cry if they don't get their way. You know what I mean?
Right.
Everyone wants to say about J6, right? Yeah. And I've been kind of keeping up on that a little bit on what happened. They had undercover FBI agents that incited the 2,000 people to rush the Capitol.
Right.
Right. Out of 100,000 people that were there, so 2% of the people.
Yeah.
2%. Yeah. And it's coming out that Nancy Pelosi was behind it, but yet they always want to say, "Oh, Trump." Well, at the time, I still wasn't really sure, but then when I heard about that, and then I realized that January 6th, the insurrection, blah, that's all they kept saying. It's you know what? Okay, you said that now, but what are you going to do now? What are your policies? Why is their whole argument was always talk bad about the other side?
Yeah.
And then they're like, "Oh, you voted for Trump or whatever. Don't talk to me. We can't be friends no more."
So it turns out every holiday season, political talk can be a tough topic to get into. But given the results of last week's election, Yale psychiatrist Dr. Amanda Calhoun suggested to Joy Reid that some people should sit this one out. Take a look.
there is a push, I think just a societal norm that if somebody is your family, that they are entitled to your time. And I think the answer is absolutely not. So if you are going to a situation where you have family members, where you have close friends who you know have voted in ways that are against you, it's completely fine to not be around those people and to tell them why.
Yeah, I think that was getting out of hand, especially during the holidays when people were saying, well, if you're there was families that were like, and friends that were like on the left and somewhere on the right, and they didn't want to communicate with each other or actually be around each other on holidays because of that. I think that's insane. That's crazy. Why would you even think of something like that?
Yeah,
at that point in time, it's not about that.
Yeah, like there was a video out there of this girl saying, she was crying, saying, oh my God, Trump made me lose my family and blah, blah. But that person was the one who made the choice of not talking to their family. It's like it wasn't their family disowning her.
Yeah. And even if you run into that situation, you got to learn to just handle it and just be like, hey, we may have our differences, but we're still friends. We're still family. It is what it is. Let it be. Let it just be.
And honestly, for you all on the left, there are great people on the left and the right, no matter what party. Because, like I said earlier, everybody has something specific that affects them personally, right? But the one thing that I've noticed, and I know it goes on both sides, but what I've noticed the most by far, the left is not peaceful. Like, in general. Like, I'm dealing with that personally. People, like, I had a friend of mine who stopped being friends with me because I voted Trump, and he asked me, he's like, so do you support everything he's doing? And I said, oh, of course I do, and then never talked to him again. And I've had people
crazy.
who are on the left tell me, don't talk to me unless you do your research, and don't talk to me this. And I'm like, wow, you're so bitter, like not even happy with life. You know what I mean? And I realized, like, listening to like the media on the left, they lie a lot. Oh, he's a dictator. He's going to be he's a Nazi. Like, how is he a Nazi? Like, I have not seen no proof of that.
Yeah. A Nazi is some...
Sorry. Okay.
Sorry about that. That's Pete. He really wants to be in this podcast. Maybe he's got something to say.
I mean, we were talking about having him on here. Now he's like wanting to come up here voluntarily. Anyways, but...
yeah. But, like, it's crazy. It really is crazy, though, because, I personally have, family that voted the opposite and some that didn't. They're the same. And to me, it's not like, oh, well, I'm not going to see you on holidays or for your birthday or just to see you. You know what? At the same time, you feel the way you're going to feel, and it is what it is. Let people just be who they're going to be.
Well, it's happening. The family wants to know what I'm doing for the holidays. I'm going to be here with my dogs and my daughter, who is of childbearing age and now has to get an IUD at 17 years old. And I'm going to be here with my son, who is a political target. And that should really tell you all you need to know about why I'm not going to be hanging out with y'all for the holidays. So off, choke on your turkey. Bye.
People will figure things out for themselves if they feel that they made a bad choice or a wrong decision. As life goes on, as things go on, then they will see it for themselves. And you know what's bothering me the most is people are saying, well, Trump, what has he done yet? What has he done yet? Come on, guys. It has only been, a little less than 2 months?
50 days, maybe?
Yeah, that he's been in office, so we have to give it time. I mean, Biden had 4 years, and what did he really do during those 4 years other than make a kind of like a disaster out of things? So, I mean, you got to look at it that way. He's already making things move faster, and everything he said he was going to do, he's starting to do it, but it does take time.
He's got to fix all the problems. It's like if if a car is broken, you don't fix it in just 2 minutes.
Right.
It takes time. Even changing a tire takes longer than 2 minutes. Right. You know what I mean? Or if you got to change the oil or whatever, it takes time. And that's what I understand. And this is what the left doesn't understand. This is why you're losing a lot of people in record numbers, right? Especially after what happened with the presidential speech the other night. Right?
Oh, yeah.
They showed their true colors, right? And it was so sad. Like you had this 13-year-old boy get up on stage, get honored to be an honorary Secret Service agent. You know what I mean? Nobody on the left stood up and clapped. I don't care who your party affiliation is or who you like or don't like politically. You stand up for the kid. That's his moment.
Yeah.
And all you're doing is acting like literally your children.
Yeah.
Freaking children. Yeah. And what upsets me a little bit is it's sad that I've had friends get on my case because I voted Trump. Well, you know what? You're making it harder for me to even side with you when you act like that. when you act like that, you have to think like I do, and you don't want to hear nothing. I want to tell you all something that are so hardcore left, right? And did you all know, ever since parties started, the Democrats were the ones who wanted slavery. The Republicans wanted to abolish slavery. The KKK formed under the Democratic Party.
Yeah.
2, back in the day, what was their argument? Oh, who's going to pick your cotton? Who's going to pick the cotton? Blah, blah, cheap labor, and all that, right?
That's
and that's what they're doing nowadays.
It's like, okay, so you want immigrants to come over here so they can do your dirty job? That's basically what you're
cheap,
saying.
For cheap.
And for cheap. So that to me sounds like in itself, that's kind of like.
That's exactly how slavery is. They came in droves.
It's disgraceful to say something like that and very demeaning and very like, that to me sounds like you're trying to, that's slavery right there, because you're trying to say like, oh, who's going to pick, who's going to wash the dishes? Who's going to build our roads? So what are you saying?
Who's going to build our houses? Who's going to put food on your table?
Yeah.
Like,
so what are you saying, that Americans can't do that as well?
Oh,
like,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I'm not talking about the people. I'm talking about your leadership you vote for.
Right.
You listen to them because they're a victim. They tell you how to be a victim. They tell you how to be, oh my gosh, I'm so oppressed. Like, how are you oppressed?
Yeah.
What rights are being taken away from you? That's the question that I ask y'all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I'm not one who I don't know. It's hard for me to feel empathy for people who cry all the time. And that's what they do. You get these people who they don't even record themselves crying. Yeah. Look at me, everybody. I'm going to set my camera up. I'm going to set my perfectly right there. And I'm just going to throw a tantrum because I'm 2 years old.
Yeah, be more mature about that. Hey, it happened. Trump won. It would be if it was vice versa, then you just accept what happened. You can't change it right now, so just let it be. Yeah, if you don't feel that way, then go out and do something about it instead of crying about it or complaining about it. Go do something that you feel that you can change it, or try to be a part of it and make it better. Try to so you can come together instead of trying to divide everybody. And
They're all about division. Everything's about a label to them.
Yeah, and all this stuff about always talking about race has gotten so
it's
annoying.
Overplayed.
That's way too much. Playing the race card has got to stop, because it's not about that. You're putting that on yourself. If you're going to say, well, now you're talking about race, or all these people are, that's because you're thinking about it in yourself.
Yeah.
Nobody's doing it to you but yourself. So stop playing that card. Nobody is saying that because, oh, you're a trans, you're LGBTQ, whatever, I1, whatever, like Trump says, and all this other stuff, or a race card is, you know what, if that's how you feel, then do something to change it other than cry and complain about it. And that's all they want to play is the race card most of the time.
It's the race card. They're race
card.
They're race baiters, gender hustlers. And it's like, people just got tired. The silent majority got tired of it because for the longest time we were quiet. We really didn't care. You just live your life, live and let live, right? But when you keep constantly throwing stuff down our throats, saying, "Oh, you're being this way," when we're not, it's just in their head. Because think about it: if someone doesn't like something about themselves, what do they think? They think everybody's looking at that specific thing. Oh my gosh, I have a huge nose. I don't want to be out because everyone's going to look at my huge nose when no one's probably going to even notice. Right. For one.
But if you keep pointing it out, well, then they're going to be like, now that you keep mentioning it, now that I think about it.
Yeah.
So stop bringing it up. You're the one that's actually doing it to yourself. Stop doing it to yourself, because.
Toughen up a little bit. Be adults. Like, you all are acting like kids who.
Not only stop, just.
And it's like
craziness has got to stop.
And for one, stop telling people that to not talk to you because they voted differently.
That's crazy.
You're coming off exactly what you're claiming the other side to be when you're actually acting that way yourself.
Yeah.
Straight up. What gets me too is like I hate the whole, what's happened, being accused of things because I'm white. Oh, really? Oh, well, now I know where your mind is. Wow. You know what I mean? Could you imagine if I said, oh, blah, blah, because you're this?
Yeah.
Like, who does that? The left. I don't see the right do that.
And people say, though, that they do. Because I guess that's how they feel.
Well, I think when they bring up the topic so much, at some point it's got to be addressed.
Yeah, it's
got to be addressed. Like, quit doing it.
Yeah.
There's this political leader. Her name is Jasmine Crockett, right? She's a representative here in Texas. Oh man, like really? You all want to be leaders, but yet this person likes to blame everything on white people. Every white person bad, white person bad, white men bad, white men bad.
Is because you can then misuse words like oppression. There has been no oppression for the white man in this country. You tell me which white men were dragged out of their homes. You tell me which one of them got dragged all the way across an ocean and told that you are going to go and work. We are going to steal your wives. We are going to rape your wives. That didn't happen. That is oppression. We didn't ask to be here. We're not the same migrants that y'all constantly come up against. We didn't run away from home. We were stolen. So yeah, we are going to sit here and be offended when you want to sit here and act like, and don't let it escape you that it is white men on this side of the aisle telling us, people of color on this side of the aisle, that y'all are the ones being oppressed.
You know what? Shut up. You're the one who's creating all this rift amongst people. Then you get people who believe you. So then they're going to hate people like me. You know, and it's like, well, what are y'all thinking? You know, so the Democratic Party, the leaders, didn't stand up for that 13-year-old boy.
Yeah, that was really...
who survived brain cancer after 13 surgeries.
That was extremely disrespectful, and that should have never happened. I mean, it's the same. Don't think about Trump. They're so worried about that they hate Trump that they will do anything, and they don't care who it is. Like even the people, the families that were there for, what was it, like...
Laken Riley, and I can't remember the other... Jocelyn something, I think.
And there are other people that died, and their family members were
girls
there.
Girls who died, who were killed by illegal criminals.
Some of them were killed, they were tortured, they were raped. There were kids, too, as well. And that's so disrespectful to say that, because it's Trump, like...
So they don't want to see no one do good.
So disrespectful.
Like, you should not be so hateful because you don't like who's in leadership. When someone, even though you may not like somebody, if they do something good... Put your political pride aside, and it's for the person that's being addressed. You know what I mean? And what's sad is the Democrats, all of them went against the Laken Riley Act, which is to actually protect women. The left, I don't know what your obsession is with trans, but men are men, women are women. And people are tired of you trying to tell everybody you're freaking stupid because you don't believe it could be otherwise. What about real women? Real women.
You know what? What about real men? I mean, at the same time, I personally don't pay attention to any of that because it is what it is. You do what you want to do. You want to put on a dress. You want to put on.
We're talking about men and women going into other spaces.
Now, going into other spaces, I have an issue with. But if you want to just walk around and that's what you want, hey, go for it. Knock yourself out. Do what you want to do, but don't sit here and say like, oh, you're looking at me bad because I'm doing this. Who cares? Do what you want to do. Dress while you want to dress. Do who you want to be.
But acting like that is why people are looking at them as crazy. Like, wait a minute, you're a grown man. Wanting to go into these women's private spaces for what?
That's creepy.
They had this has already happened. They've had prisoners who were trans women who went to women's facilities, and guess what? Ended up getting like 9 women pregnant. Oh, you're really a trans woman, huh? While you're in there impregnating inmates.
Yeah.
But we're for women's rights. No, you're not.
Yeah.
You care about an agenda.
Yeah.
And that's it. What about real people?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If a woman wants to think they're a man, hey, go whatever. I'm not going to care. I can go do my thing. You go do your thing. Whatever.
Right.
Stop trying to get everyone to have to approve you because you had that void in your own heart. You know what I mean? And it's almost it's a slap in the face, though. You're trying to tell me that, a woman can be a man, or it should be a slap in the face of women when it's like, oh, a man can be a woman. No, a man can never get pregnant, for one, can never carry a child.
Mm-hmm.
Like seriously, dems, this is the reason why people are like against you right now. It's not hating you or whatever. You're bringing unnecessary drama. For what?
Yeah.
No one's talking bad on them. It's like, I think what it is you look down on them so you feel you have to be the savior.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's just so sad.
And feel the way you want to feel. Like, stop throwing it in other people's faces. If that's how you feel, don't be angry about it. Be happy about it. You should accept who you are, love who you are.
And you'll be happier if you do.
And just come out and go with it. Just own it, instead of having to cry about it or be mad about it because you're thinking the world doesn't accept you for that. Nobody is saying that. And nobody has ever said, oh, you're going to have to leave America because of that. And I've heard those things as well, those comments.
They make up these weird
Trump's not saying that. He never said because you're not white, you have to leave America. He never said because you're trans or whatever, you can't, be in America. That
or you
is
can't
something-
work, or you can't make your own money.
Yeah,
you
I think
can't live
that's
in-
something that is totally made up, and they're just exaggerating. You guys are just exaggerating something that was never said,
like-
and you're making it more than what it is.
And all y'all, I'm gonna tell you right now, Rachel Mad Cow, she's mad in the head. And you know why I'm gonna say this? I don't know why. I can't believe anybody listens to her, because when Trump had that 13-year-old boy get honored to be a Secret Service agent, she called it appalling and disgusting.
This is disgusting. The president made a spectacle out of praising a young man who thus far survived pediatric cancer, as if the president had something to do with that.
Hold on, just let that sink in. Appalling and disgusting that a 13-year-old boy who survived brain cancer, who's had 13 surgeries, who was only supposed to get 5 months to live, 10 years ago, or when he was young, and he's living many years afterwards, and she has the gall to say that was disgusting and that they're trying to politicize it. Well, guess what, Mad Cow? You politicized it. You could have just been like, you know what? I will have to give Trump that. Everybody on the left-wing media was talking trash on Trump about it. The one woman saying, well, I hope he doesn't commit suicide. Like, why do you got to take it that you're taking the moment from the 13-year-old boy?
Yeah, this is a kid we're talking about here, guys. Like, come on, have a little more respect than that. It's not about Trump at that point.
It's about the kid, man.
Yeah, it's about that person. And about also the people that actually died from these immigrants that killed them. Think about those things. What if that was your family member, your friend, one of your loved ones? You would be angry about that. You wouldn't be sitting here saying, oh, but we got to let these immigrants in. Oh, but, come on, think about it closely. That would be totally different until when it happens to you, and hopefully, God, it doesn't. But then they want to act like, oh, well, poor immigrants, now they're going to send them back. Well, they had no business here doing that in the first place.
And that droves like that. And then,
they gave you a chance to be here in America. Now make it for the greater good instead of going out committing murders. If they felt like they were going to come and get everything handed to them, they should have known better, or maybe they were told different. That was a problem with the administration, with the Biden and Harris administration. They probably were giving them promises to come over here so they can vote for them, and they thought they were going to have all these things handed to them, and it didn't work out like that.
Nope.
And now half of them are just getting deported back again. So it was a waste of time and a waste of money.
And they don't understand all the kids who die on the long trip trying to get over here and all that stuff, and they still want to hey, come on. A lot of people die.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Trump says, come the legal way. You can come all the way here. Just go through the port of entry. That's all you got to do. So you don't have to deal with the cartels and owing them a lot of money and all this stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, well, I don't get it. And then I heard the dumbest thing today, right? That Jasmine Crockett said today. She's supposedly a lawyer. She's like, it is not illegal to cross into our country illegally. Oh, I was like, okay, just say that again. Just say that again. It's not illegal to cross into our country illegally.
It is not a criminal violation to enter the country illegally. It's not a criminal. It's a crime. It's not a crime, which is why they're so frustrated, because they really want our local law enforcement to go out and round up people when they could be looking out for the murderers and the sexual abusers as well as the robbers. They want them to go and round people up.
It's right there in what you just said. Like people listen to this person.
Yeah.
Like seriously. Like, because she talks loud, she acts all whatever. Is that what attracts y'all, people?
Well, I mean,
is that who represents?
You know what? If it does, it does. Who cares?
No. It's serious though. That'd be like me saying, "Oh, it's not illegal to rob a bank."
Well, she just used the two phrases in one, which is a contradiction.
Yeah,
it's not.
It's not illegal to cross into our country illegally.
Illegally. What the heck? What is that? Come on, think about what you're saying.
Like, Dems, are you really thinking right now?
Think about what you're saying. That is illegal. It's always been. This is not a new thing. It's always been in America illegal to do that.
Get this.
Why has it changed now all of a sudden?
I saw a video today. It hit the nail on the head. Perfect, right? This guy was like, okay, if I wanted to go to Africa, and live in Africa, and I went and protested because I wanted Africa to change their laws to appease me, and I'm waving the American flag. What do you think Africa's going to do?
Yeah.
Why are you waving in another country's flag in another country that you want to be a part of?
Right.
Like all these people waving all these countries' flags. Like then go back.
Exactly.
Like I've lived in other countries, You don't see people do that. Like, oh, I'm not going to, no, unless you're showing pride, like you say you're going to like a World Cup game or something and you're cheering on your home country. That's different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or something. But I'm not going to go live in South Korea and protest that, oh, their immigration laws are too tough and wave the American flag when I'm trying to live in South Korea.
Right.
Like, make it make sense.
Yeah.
It's really sad. Like, you know, and it's like nobody wants division. But the only people I see causing division are the left. They're the ones who voluntarily cut people off. They're the ones who voluntarily cut relationships. They're the ones who silence people. It's like, oh, you think differently. And you all are the ones who want censorship and take away rights. But yet you say the right's trying to take rights. What rights?
Should be, in my view, repealing something called Section 230, which gave platforms on the internet immunity because they were thought to be just pass-throughs, that they shouldn't be judged for the content that is posted. But we now know that that was an overly simple view, that if the platforms, whether it's Facebook or Twitter X or Instagram or TikTok, whatever they are, if they don't moderate and monitor the content, we lose total control.
He has lost his privileges and it should be taken down. And the bottom line is that you can't say that you have one rule for Facebook and you have a different rule for Twitter. The same rule has to apply, which is that there has to be a responsibility that is placed on these social media sites to understand their power. They are directly speaking to millions and millions of people without any level of oversight or regulation. And that has to stop.
This Twitter user slammed the VP, saying Kamala Harris wrongly says freedom of speech is a privilege when it's actually a right clearly defined in the First Amendment. The fact Kamala doesn't know this says everything.
Please come to me and tell me what rights are being taken away. Because all I know from the left, even Harris said, and Clinton has said it, that freedom of speech is, I can't remember who else said it too. They're like, Tim Walz, there's no guarantee when it comes to free speech. Are you kidding me? That's our very First Amendment.
Yeah. Freedom of speech. Yeah. In America.
Walz, are you dumb?
Yeah.
Anyways, I just kind of wanted to vent and get that out a little bit.
Sometimes you just have to. We're going to have a little more of these, political episodes because this is something we kind of started with first, and then we've done some other things as well. And we hope you stay tuned for it, and we hope you've been watching some more episodes as well.
And there's no censorship here. If you want to come on here and want to talk to us, or you write in the comments or whatever, go ahead.
Yeah, even if you're if you're a lefty, if you're a Democrat, you're a Demo.
I would love for y'all to come on here.
Go ahead. You have a right to say whatever you want to say, and we will never go against that. I can't say personally I would agree or I disagree, but that's the thing. Come on here to debate it.
Dialogue.
Come on here to debate it. We don't have to separate ourselves for it. Go ahead and say your piece, and we will. We will as well. I will as well. And you know what? That's fine.
Yeah,
we don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with it. We
will not shut you up just because you think differently than us.
No,
that's the
definitely
difference
not.
between certain people.
Definitely not.
So, anyways, thank you for tuning in. Yeah. This is pretty good.
Yeah.
Hope you all like it. Stay tuned for our future episodes, and take care. And God bless.
God bless.
Thank you for staying with us. Thank you for watching The Pilot Seat. I'm Jeremiah.
I'm Melissa.
Stay tuned for future episodes. So in the meantime, take care.
Stay safe.
And God bless.